His Excellency Mr. Barack Obama, President of the United States of America, shalom to you from the Holy Land of Israel. Please let me express my respect for you as an intelligent, wise, and just person who is doing his best to minimize the use of arms and stop the bloodshed in our nowadays hysterical Middle East without compromising the safety of his own country and people. My name is Noah Hashad, Hasid in Hebrew. I was born as an Egyptian Muslim to a Muslim family with Jewish-Muslim mixed roots in 1964. I'm a nuclear physicist, received my bachelor's and master's from Cairo University, where I was hired to teach nuclear physics, both at Cairo and Erroneous universities from 1988 to 2011 to the final year undergraduate students. I also completed Islamic studies, same specialized courses that sheikhs study at Al-Azhar, at a school in Saudi Arabia, and carried out research on the legitimacy of Israel in the Middle East according to Islamic authentic documents at Al-Azhar in Egypt in 1999 and 2005. This research earned me a 6-time tyrannical arrest, harassment and torture at the hands of the Egyptian regime, and 12 years travel ban, which led, for instance, to depriving me of attending my PhD scholarships sent to me from the Joint Institute for Nuclear Reactions in Dagna, Moscow, Russia more than once, and consequently led to freezing my research in nuclear safety for more than 10 years. Egypt has saved no effort to follow and fight my work for true peace for another 5 years in Israel as well, by spreading rumors and tendentious lies about me by its security and media men, sending me threats of more physical harm which already took place and even liquidation, all documented, in order to hinder and freeze my work, all because I dared to speak of Jewish or Israeli rights. I mean any Jewish or Israeli rights, despite its knowledge of the truth and despite its peace treaty with Israel. For that, I coined the slogan, "Peace is a culture, not a treaty," which is exactly the message I'm sending to Your Excellency today. After Mubarak was ousted, I managed to travel legally from Cairo Airport to Jordan, where I received my visa to the Holy Land of Israel from the Israeli Embassy in Amman. I have finally created the Noah Hasid Center for Peace in the Middle East, NHC4PME, with the help of few respected rabbis and university professors, experts in Jewish and Islamic religions, Middle East issues, and more. Now, why hasn't the Israeli-Arab conflict been solved until now, despite all the efforts, and what would be the permanent solution? This is a question I've heard Your Excellency and other world leaders asking before, while seeking peace partners with a vision that can help provide a final fair solution to the major Middle East conflict. We call it the major conflict because many of the Middle East conflicts and terrorist acts have originated in relation to this conflict. For instance, the Damar massacre, which took place in Lebanon at the hands of the PLO in 1976 and led to the Sabra and Shatila revenge massacre at the hands of the Phalange in 1982, occurred because the Egyptian Yasser Arafat and his Made in Egypt PLO made in Egypt because Nasser was the one who gave direct order to Shaqiri to create a Palestinian entity at the Arab Summit held in Cairo in 1964. Wanted to seize land in Lebanon and create a front from which Israel could be fought. That is to say, they have massacred people in order to massacre other people, which is what Egypt is doing now in Arish according to its own strategic experts and human rights activists. The result is non-stop series of bloodshed in the Middle East where no solution seems to fit. We, NHC4PME, are providing the real paradigm for peace in the Middle East, the one and only scientific, comprehensive, fair solution to end the Israeli-Arab conflict and achieve true and permanent peace in the region. comprehensive, conclusive solution, Mr. President, cannot drop or ignore any of the sides of the problem it tackles, especially its foundational ones. That's why many of the proposed solutions and initiatives which have ignored or excluded religious roots of the Middle East conflict won't be able to correctly view it or solve it. Involvement of religion here is inevitable, not because it is the solution, but because it was the problem. Please allow me to divert for a moment to describe the scientific experience of mine. In 1999, while working on my master's, I had to substitute some experimental results into an equation called Morgenstraten equation that was established in 1958. But my results didn't fit the equation. Since I know how accurate my work is, I started to doubt the correctness of the equation, and in fact, the equation was incorrect. I met resistance to my findings with claims that an equation known since 1958 that everybody is using daily cannot be wrong. But the late genius, Doctor of Science, Professor Ahmed al-Naghi, supervisor of my first PhD in nuclear safety, settled the matter for them when he reached the same conclusion after he derived it for himself. That was one of the reasons I received a magnificent report from the foreign examiner. This kind of situation is getting repeated once again, Mr. Obama. The Middle East equation must be reevaluated and corrected if we are truly serious about reaching an applicable, realistic solution for the Israeli-Arab or Islamic-Jewish conflict and to halt the preaching of Holocaust and genocide of Jews according to false Islamic narratives. I have great confidence in you, Mr. Obama, as a lawman, as a man for true peace, that you will give the ear to our initiative and the time to reevaluate the whole situation so that we can truly stop the bloodshed of innocent victims from the two nations every day. Peace is a culture, not a treaty, is our two-stage peace initiative. Stage 1. Correction of the erroneous Middle East equation. This phase is a short term, 2 to 3 years, that should start immediately before any further peace talks resume, where all BDS activities and criminalization activities at the ICC should be halted until the re-evaluation process takes place. We cannot keep punishing victims forever, Mr. President, without careful study of the case. The goal of this phase is to examine all historical, legal, and religious preconceptions and documents from both sides of the conflict. Our research shows that the two sides do not have a common language for approaching the peace process. In addition, there are abuses of the Quran and false historical narratives which have bred hatred, incitement, extremism, terrorism, unfair international resolutions, and hence unrespected treaties. By bringing the two sides together to deeply understand each other's religious and historical perspectives and to put everything on the table, we believe we can come to a respectful and fruitful dialogue using new common terms replacing the previous disputed terms. Stage 1 of the initiative is expected to help draw fair borders to achieve a just decision on Beit HaMikdash or the Temple Al-Aqsa dispute, a clear definition and official recognition of all Israeli and Palestinian rights and compensations and by whom it should be paid. Stage 2. Dissemination of truth-based peace culture. Stage 1 is the nucleus work for Stage 2, where a thesis that encapsulates the new terms, that's to say, all agreed upon corrected terms after cultural confrontation between Middle East parties takes place, together with all authentic documents that justify them, the scientific route we have followed, data analysis and graphs, will be published and given out to universities, schools, cultural centers, libraries, global administrations, and embassies, and so on, so that the new doctrine, after confrontation, becomes a known entity and available to all, and thus cannot be falsified throughout history once again. By disseminating this peace culture, we can not only prevent similar conflicts in the future, but we can encourage peaceful prosperity and cultural exchange between all peoples of the Middle East. One of the most valuable gifts we can give the next generations is to free them from a hate heritage. This culture of peace, constructive dialogue and authentic documents would be taught throughout the Middle East schools, mosques, synagogues, churches, and so on, after being agreed upon, in order to start a new era of true peace. Once barriers are removed between all the countries of the Middle East, getting to know the other in a clear, undistorted basis will leave no reason nor place for hate to breed again in the region. Mr. Obama, supporting this initiative could be the unique chance for you to bring peace to our troubled Middle East. Our youth are looking for a better life, and you can help actualize the enormous human potential in the youth of the Middle East. This is your opportunity to initiate a world-changing paradigm shift before you leave office. So please don't deny us and yourself this chance. We also urge world leaders to support our initiative, put the hands in yours and ours, and open gates to this unique, robust peace initiative. Thank you, Mr. President.